Hey Truther fam, it's Sonia here. So I'm here sitting in the car in the parking lot behind my mother's CHSLD residence. That's a government-run seniors home, and I'm about to go in and see her. And the thing is, she tested positive for COVID a few days ago, and they told me that the protocol is still that anyone who tests positive has to isolate in their room for 10 days, including someone like my mother who has dementia, which, I mean, to me, this sounds obviously crazy. Most of the world doesn't have this kind of protocol or policy in place. It's not in place outside of the retirement home. It seems that they have a different set of rules for people outside and people inside the retirement homes. I just went and checked the government guidelines just to make sure. And if you're just a citizen living on your own outside of an institution, you're just recommended to not be around vulnerable people, but there's nothing in place that mandates that you isolate. However, if you live in a government long-term care home, the policy is still to put you in your room and isolate you for 10 days, even if you don't have symptoms, just because you tested positive. I don't think crazy even just covers that. I would say at this point it's abusive, destructive, detrimental, and I cannot imagine how they justify this at this point when we have all the evidence that from previous experience, when you have a small ward like this, putting people in their rooms doesn't stop the spread. It never did. And locking seniors in their rooms was extremely damaging to them. Even actually, a lot of people probably died a lot sooner because they were isolated. And it's 3 years in now, and our government here in Quebec is still doing this in their retirement homes. Can you believe it? I thought you should know, because I think most people don't know, and I think most people think that this is all behind us because it doesn't affect them. But I think people should know that they're still doing this to our seniors here in Quebec. So, yes, she has COVID. Apparently, she's fine. Oh, she also did have, I think, 5 doses of vaccine. So that just kind of adds to it because it's like they got 5 doses. They've had all those shots, and when they test positive, they're still told to isolate in their rooms. I mean, is this ever going to get any better? Are we just going to keep going like this forever? Is this the new policy? Take a shot every 6 months, and if you get sick with that, you still have to stay in your room? I mean, are you staying in your room to protect other people? Because I thought that the shot was doing that. So what is the staying in the room for? So yeah, I'm gonna go in and see my mom now. I mean, nobody wants to get COVID. Nobody wants to get sick with anything, me included. But I feel at this point, honestly, like you can't run away from these things. Getting illnesses in winter, it's just part of life. You don't want to catch anything from anyone because it sucks, but reality is it's unavoidable. Winter illnesses are just part of life. And I feel like, what the last couple of years have taught me is the more you try to avoid them, the lower your immunity just gets. And then eventually you're going to encounter it and you're going to get more sick. That's what happened to me. After a couple of years there, when we all started recongregating, I came down with something almost every month last year. It didn't come down with anything in Europe, though. Interesting, because supposedly when I was there was a lot of COVID, but I didn't get anything. Right, here's my mom's room. Oh my god, she's actually in her room. Mummy, hi. Mum. Mummy. Mummy, what's going on? Mum, are you okay? Mummy, it's me. It's Sonia. Are you all right? Oh my god. Mum. Mum, are you there? Mummy. Mum. Mummy. Let me wake up. Mom,
This is my.
it's me. It's Sonia.
Yes.
Are you okay?
Yes.
Oh my God, you scared me there for a second. Are you sitting in here all by yourself? You want to wake up a little bit? Mummy. Mom. Wake up, Mummy. Mummy, wake up. Mummy, wake up. Wake up. It's me. It's Sonia. I came to visit you. What's going on here? What's going on? Mom, did they leave you in here by yourself? What is going on here? They still have to isolate for 10 days. Because it was just like a few days ago they said she tested positive. It's not, it hasn't been 10 days, it's been like 3 or 4. It was before the weekend. Mommy, are you okay?
Huh?
Yeah?
Yeah.
I know you're strong.
Yeah.
And you're a very strong, healthy girl with a strong spirit, but I'm a bit upset to see you in here all by yourself like this.
Oh yeah, I am so tired.
You seem like you're really tired. You seem very tired.
I am.
Yeah. Do you want some water? Maybe I can get you some water or some Gatorade or something?
I don't know. I tried a little more. Maybe you're right.
Yeah, a little bit?
I think I tried to keep on a little vase after, and then.
I'm gonna go get you a juice or something, okay?
Yes, I will do that.
Okay, you stay here. I'll be right back. I found my mom sitting alone in a room, very closed up on herself. I think she was very thirsty because when I brought her some juice, she drank 2 cups of juice and a cup of water. And after she did that, she perked up quite a bit. And then she also had a little bit of a cookie. I think she was thirsty. I also noticed that it smelled like pee and it was coming from her pull-ups. So she had been sitting there for some time and nobody noticed that her pull-up was soiled. And you know, it takes a while for pee to get that kind of ammonia smell, so it had probably been like that for a little while. I noticed that her fingers looked dirty. And I thought maybe it's food, but then I realized there was a poop smell coming from her hand. She had poop on her fingers and under her nails. And nobody notices. They have a COVID agent assigned just for her sitting outside who's paying very close attention to make sure she doesn't leave the room. Because in theory, if she does, she might put COVID in the halls and then, well, she could spread it to the rest of the building. And I asked her, well, how's she going to do that if she doesn't leave the ward? And they said, oh, well, because she might give it to one of the PABs and then they'll go on another ward and they'll spread it. And I said, yeah, but the PABs come in her room. Yeah, but they have aprons on. That's the logic. And she's just focused on keeping my mother from giving people COVID and not thinking about all the other aspects that are coming out of it. Like the fact that she's sitting there in a room, thirsty, sitting in a wet diaper, and with poop on her fingers. I asked the COVID agent, do you really believe that the benefit of isolating people outweighs the damage that you're doing to them by isolating them? And she was like, oh, but your mom, like, she doesn't know what's going on. She's not even aware. People have this impression that if someone has dementia and they don't understand what's going on around them, that they don't need anything, you just leave them alone in a corner. I don't think that that's true. I think that they do suffer. They suffer emotionally. They suffer. It does matter. And you know, I believe that this little COVID agent thinks she's doing the right thing, but I think that every time in history that people as a collective did something that was very harmful to other people on a large scale, And on an institutional and a policy government level, they did it because they thought they were doing the right thing. They always believed in what they were doing, and that's why they did it. And then history shows us that it wasn't the right thing and it had terrible consequences. But at the time, everyone who did it believed in it, or they went along with it because they were afraid of what would happen to them if they didn't. But if you could take a job as a COVID agent, you're doing it by choice. It's because you believe in it. Mummy, Mummy, wake up. Wow, Mom has perked up considerably since she had some apple juice and cookies. It's good medicine. Hey, you feel better, Mom? Whoops. Oh, I dropped them on the floor. Yeah, you look a lot better. You look a lot more awake. You want more cookie? I'll give it to you. There you go. You're coming back to life now. You're certainly more awake than you were. So, the people who work at this place they're nice people, they're good people. I don't blame them for any of what's happening. I think they're doing the best they can under the circumstances. I mean, doing the best without going against it and losing their jobs, you know. But they're caring people and they're doing what they can. A COVID agent is kind of like an infection control agent, which it kind of makes sense to have someone like that in an institution, except that this person has absolutely no training in infection control. It's a job that you can get with absolutely no qualifications. And you know what? Seeing what's going on in there, seeing my mom isolated like that, dirty, thirsty, it's heartbreaking. It's really heartbreaking. And I'm leaving there feeling pretty sad about it. It's just not right. Anyway, that's it. I just wanted to give you an update, let you know what's going on up here in Quebec. Thanks for joining me in the chat, you guys, and thanks for listening, and I'll see you next time.